everyone. I'm Nancy Ennis, and I'd like to welcome all of you to Unity of Charlotte on this beautiful day. And surely the presence of God's love is awake within us and filling this room, and it's so good to be together. I also welcome you into this time of contemplation, time of prayer and meditation, a time to be still and just know the presence within us. So today, as we begin our time together, I'd like to share with you our new mission and our new vision that we presented last week, and I'd like for us to say that together today. The new vision statement for Unity of Charlotte, together. We awaken and express humanity's divinity through spirit-led, heart-driven, progressive spirituality. And we hold that vision in our heart today as we join together in our daily word, and our chaplain Darcel Spears will bring that to us today.
Hi. Today's daily word is let go and let God. I let go and let God be God in my life and in the lives of my loved ones. Watching a child get on a school bus, begin a new career, or start his own family, and is an exercise in letting go for the parent. We are proud of each step in their growth toward the independence, yet we may find it difficult to give up control. Whether a child, parent, spouse, or friend, they each have their own path to follow. And I trust God to guide them along the way that they should go. Holding on to my faith in God, I take a breath and I let go of the need to be in control. I trust God to show them and me a vision for greater than any I could imagine of my own. So through letting go and letting God, I allow my loved ones to reach their highest and best potential. But I am like a green olive tree in the house of God. I trust in the steadfast love of God forever and ever. Psalm 52:8. Boy, that hit my gut. So, I'm Darcel Spears. I am the chaplain in motion today, and I'd love to sit there and sit and share with you if you'd like to come down to the chaplain room today and share or express or pray. I'm glad to be there for you after service.
I invite you now to join me in the prayer of the heart. I invite you to bring all your attention to your heart space now. Breathe in and out through your heart. And feel the presence of God within. Feel that love with a capital L within your heart. The power that heals, harmonizes, and unifies our lives. It attracts to us all that is ours. Share that love with yourself first. That love that is God. Let it flow through your body. Let that light radiate out from you so that you are a glowing beacon of God's light, joining with beacons all over the room, making one light and one heart where there is no separation. Feel that connection in your heart. Feel that love. And we'll send it out this morning to the city around us, to the state, to the country we all live in, to the world we inhabit. We send it to our loved ones. We send it to people we don't know. We send it to our leaders. We send it to everyone around the world. Let us join together now with everyone else who is praying at this time in any place of worship, in every home, in every place of nature where there is a prayer of the heart. We join with it. We know that love goes wherever it is sent and received wherever hearts are open. Now bring your awareness back into this room, back into your heart, breathing in and out as we say, thank you, God, for this blessing. We know that your love is always available to us, always around us, and we are also thankful for it. And so it is. Amen.
This morning, our licensed Unity teacher, Gloria Hunter, is with us, and she is going to lead us in meditation. So let us join together in our meditation song and prepare for a time of meditation.
As you prepare for this time of quiet and meditation, I'm going to get personal just for a moment because I want to say thank you to my wonderful Unity family for being here for me over the past few months as I walk through the last months of my mother's life. You've prayed for me. You've sent me cards and notes. And just recently, I got that most wonderful pillow of love. So thank you, each and every one that have walked with me from a distance, but I know you have been with me, and I have been in your heart. And now as we move on to this time of quiet, take a deep breath, let it out. love. That's the theme that I seem to keep coming back to. And that's what this church is about. And we read in the Bible where it says God is love. And our daily word today was let go and let God. I'd like to suggest that we let go and let love. So just take a moment and breathe. Visualize that you're breathing in the energy of love. That energy of love fills every cell in your body. Every inch of you is just love in action. Just feel the light and the love that swirls in this room. It's here for us to share, to be a part of this city, this state, and this world, as we said in our earlier prayer. So just take a moment. We'll just take a moment of silence. And if you can, feel your body just filling up with the wonderful energy of love. That power that love gives us to do good things, to share with people, to be a part of this community that we live in. So just take a moment of silence. In the silence. Now, as we feel that love welling up in us, filling us, we come back into the presence of this room and the people around us, knowing that we can say from the bottom of our hearts, I am love in action. Yes, we are love in action. So as we close this sacred time, join with me as we say together, I am love in action. Together. I am love in action. Thank you, Mother, Father, God, and so it is. Amen.
Welcome, Holy Spirit. inside of me. Fill us with your power. Live inside of me. Take a look at the person next to you. Take a look at the person next to you. Say, God loves you and I love you too. God loves you and I love you too. Now feel the love in the sanctuary. Feel the love in the sanctuary. Lift your voice and repeat after me. We come together, come together. We come together, come together. We come together, come together. In the name of love. We come together, come together, come together, come together, come together, come together, in the name of love. Now look at the person next to you, look at the person next to you. Say, I recognize a God in you, I recognize a God in you. Feel the love in the sanctuary, feel the love in the sanctuary. Lift your voice and repeat after me. We come together, come together, come together, come together, come together, come together, in the name of love. We come together, come together, we come together, come together, we come together, come together, in the name of love. From every walk of life, every walk of life, every creed and color, every creed and color, we should all unite. We should all unite in honor of the God and each other. Take a look at the person next to you. Take a look at the person next to you. Say, namaste, I bow to you. Namaste, I bow to you. Now feel the love in the sanctuary. Feel the love in the sanctuary. Lift your voice and repeat after me. We come together, come together, come together, come together. We come together, come together, in the name of love. We come together, come together, come together, come together. We come together, come together, in the name of love. We come together, come together, come together, come together. We come together, come together, in the name of love. We come together, come together, come together, come together, come together, come together, in the name of love.
So, welcome to all of you. Welcome to all of you who are joining us on TV, YouTube, or whatever other technology you might find us on. Welcome, and we invite you to come and be here with us in person, or just keep joining us by the internet. All those are okay, just so we come together, however it is, and however we do that.
There once was a bug named Don't Be. He never got anything done. He just stayed around his home, never tried to leave the comb, and pretended he was having fun. He had a little cousin named Doobie, the most respected bee in the hive. Said, Mama bee, if you be just the same as cousin Doobie, then I think you'll be a little more wise. And as he watched the doobie, he could see that he believed that there was nothing that he couldn't do. He said that life was fun and life was always sweet as honey, and it's all in your point of view. And now the Don't Be Nosy is a doobie, and soon you'll see that you're a doobie too. And you will be amazed at happy you be. Here's the payoff. So do be a doobie, do be a doobie, do be a doobie, do. Thanks, Jake. Wish you were here to sing it. Thank you.
Thank you, Greg. What a fun song. Well, actually, our message today is a doobie-doo-be message. That's why I asked Greg about the song. I thought there could be a theme song, and so now there is. That's what I was looking for. So we are living in a time that calls us to be more than we imagined we could be, and to do more than we imagined we could do. That's the doobie-doo, and it doesn't end. There's always more that we can do and more that we can be as we see that. So we're being called now to be something we've never been before. We're being called to do things we've never done before. We're called to be a new creation without having a clue of what that new creation might look like or what it might do. But we're kind of getting the idea now, right? That new creation, we're kind of getting it? Okay. So this is happening in our world today. And we are finding out that we are going to be taking, I believe, some sort of an evolutionary leap. We're being called like to be pioneers in this new day that's dawning in planet Earth. Last Sunday, if you were here, we introduced a new vision, a new mission, new principles, new logo. And we got this from our spiritual time together as a leadership team, David, Tim, and me, spending time listening to where's Spirit calling us to go in these changing times. And this is what we were given. And it really does call us up higher, because our new mission statement calls us to be a co-creative spiritual adult, accepting responsibility for the destination of humanity, and to be the ones that bring the transforming power of love onto earth that will dissolve the love of power that we see here a lot. That really calls us up higher, doesn't it? It calls us to be all we can be and to do all we can do for ourselves so we can do it for the world. So as all this began to come together, the new day dawning, all these new things that are coming in, and the new vision and mission started coming to us, I realized that this is big, and we have to step up big to something big that's happening in our world. Then I began to wonder, how are we going to stay on course with this? How can we keep growing and learning and moving along our spiritual path and not forget where we are and not backslide all the time and have to catch up? How can we just keep moving forward? Every day I asked that question. Every day I got no answer that made any sense to me. Then one day I was in a group and I heard somebody say, doobie-doo. I don't know why that person said doobie-doo. It didn't have anything to do with what the group was doing. But one person said doobie-doo. Another person said doobie-doobie-doobie-doobie-doobie-doo. And it went on in that room. And there was laughter and there was fun. And everybody was playing with the doobie-doo. And we could say that now. Doobie-doo. And we could start doobie-doobie-doobie-doo. It's kind of fun. Well, I knew that was it. When I heard it, I thought, oh my gosh, that would be something that could guide us on the spiritual path. Because, you know, if we step up to as high as we're being called to step up, we have to have something that motivates us, something that's exciting and fun and dynamic and calls us to come together and to really get engaged with this from the desires of our heart. So I think doobie-doobie-doo can do that because it is fun and it is a fun thing to do together. So as we're looking at these things, doing and being, we realize that doing and being aren't separate. Our being is our spiritual nature, our beingness. That's what our 2016 focus is on this year, bringing forth our beingness, our spiritual nature. And our doingness is what we do from our spiritual nature. It was like our meditation today when Gloria said love in action. Love is our beingness. The action is bringing love into the world through us in everything we say and everything we do. So being and doing go together. Our being and our doing comes from our being, and our being grows and develops from our doing. They're one and the same. But sometimes we're a don't be. You know? And we just do and we be and we forget all about all of this together. So I have a story about that, about just doing and forgetting our being. It's a story about a man who was tailgated by a stressed out woman in traffic. And it was time to go through the intersection. The yellow light came and he stopped. He didn't go through the intersection. So that tailgating woman started honking her horn, and she rolled down her window and she was yelling at him, shaking her fist out the window. And she looked over at the passenger side and she saw a police officer looking in the car. He told her to get out of the car. He came around, he handcuffed her, and he took her to jail. They booked her, put her in a cell. Later that day, he came back, the officer came back, and he said, "Here's your things. I apologize for my mistake." He said, "But you know, when I saw your car and I saw the bumper sticker, it said, 'What would Jesus do?' And I saw that little sign in your window that said, 'Follow me to Sunday school.' Then I saw that chrome Christian fish on your trunk. Certainly you can understand how I thought you stole the car." No being or doing in that at all. No being and plenty of doing that was not coming from the heart, we could say. So sometimes we like to just be. Like to just focus on our spirit and do all of our time meditating. We forget that we're called here to take that being out into the world. Sometimes we do that at work. Sometimes we get caught being when we should be doing. Have you ever had that happen to you? So here's what to do. If you fall asleep into your beingness while you're supposed to be doing your work and your boss comes along, 10 things you can do. 10 things you can say to your boss so the boss understands that you're being when you're really sleeping. 10 of them. We'll go backwards. Number 10. "Oh, they told me at the blood bank this might happen." Number 9. "This is just a 15-minute power nap they raved about from that conference you sent me to about management office." 8. "Oh, I guess you came in time. I left the cover off the white off." The white out. The white out. "You probably just rescued me in time." Number 7. "I wasn't sleeping. I was meditating on the mission statement and envisioning a new paradigm for us." Number 6. "I was testing my keyboard for drool resistance." Number 5. "I was doing a highly specific yoga exercise to relieve work-related stress." Why did you interrupt me? I almost figured out a solution to all of our problems. Number 3. "The coffee maker is broken." Number 2. "Someone must have put decaf in the wrong pot." And the number 1 best thing to say if you ever get caught being when you should be doing, "In the name of Jesus, amen." So one more combination. We can just not be and do it all and just react through life and never even think about our spiritual nature, using it, or love, or what it means, or anything. We can just go through life reacting to life as it comes. That's the story of what happened to the person I'm going to find here in a minute. His name, Morris, and his wife, Ethel. Every year it seems that a state fair came to their location. And every year they went to the fair, every year Morris wanted to ride in the helicopter. Ethel would say, "No, Morris, it costs $50, and $50 is $50. So on this year, Morris was 84 years old, and he said to Ethel, "If I don't ride that helicopter this year, I probably never will." And she said, "Well, Morris, $50 is $50. They got to the fair, and he asked again, "Let's go on the helicopter." And she said, "No, Morris, $50 is $50. Well, the driver of the helicopter heard them. He said, "I'll tell you what. If you come with me in the helicopter, I take you for a ride and you don't utter a word or say a thing, then what'll happen is I'll give it to you for free." So the pilot took him up in the air and he did all kinds of fancy maneuvers, and not a sound came from them. So when they landed, the pilot turned to Morris and he said, "By golly, I did everything I could to get you to talk, and you didn't say a word." And Morris said, "Well, I was going to say something when Ethel fell out." But $50 is $50. So many ways that we can use this combination, but what we want to do is we want to be a being that's doing, and that's where it's leading us. So true love then true spirituality is love in action. And first I wanted to share with you a personal story of my own being awareness. And sometimes I share this story, so you might have heard pieces of it, but it came to me to share it with you today in context of these new times. Because this happened when I first came onto the spiritual path. And it happened when I was seeking with all of my might to find all the spiritual truths I could to live my life, because I believed in these things I was hearing, and I just never had a way to bring them forth. So my brother got sick of me grilling him on his spirituality. And he said, here, take this book, and it was called Road Less Traveled. He said, read the whole book, don't skip a thing, until you come to the place on grace. And when you do, you'll understand how everything works in the universe. So I was into spiritual truths and finding out about spiritual things, and the psychology in that book was kind of heavy for me. So I took it at the beach, and I thought, well, I'll get through it at the beach. So here I was sitting on the balcony trying to get through it, and I came to this place that said, from Scott Peck, the author, we are born to become, as conscious individuals, a new life form of God. Our life is to be an agent of God's grace on earth, sharing love, God's love, with all of humankind. I read it and I read it again. I thought, what's a new life form and what's this mean? And there was nothing to back that up, but it was the heat that came over me and the light that I knew there was something in there for me, probably someday. So I carried that all these years looking for, what's the new life form? How do we become this new life form? And it showed up in our mission statement. So I thought, wow, it's here. We're calling it now a divine human. Barbara Marx Hubbard called it a universal human. But it's a human being, like we are right here, living from our spiritual nature, being that expression of God and the earth. No matter what we say, no matter what we do, no matter where we go. That's the definition for a spiritual adult that we're called to be in our mission statement. So it's all kind of just coming together in a really exciting and interesting way. We're at a time, too, that we can do it. We can become that new life form, because there are ways now. I just say in the heart math class, I think we're doing it a lot at the time, and not realizing that truly we are sharing that love from our beingness as a human. So true spirituality, then, as we understand it with the new spirituality that's coming in, is love in action. And what it calls us to become is a new life form, to become the most loving person we can be. And then it tells us what to do, to make love the real work of our life, and then to work as if the future of the world depends on it. What do you think about that? It's all there. It's in 4 steps, and it's easy. And then we have what is called a universal spirituality that's coming in to remind us at the same time. It's calling us to open our heart. Can't have love, we can't have true spirituality without our heart being open and love flowing out. We can't be an expression of love without love. First there must be love. Calls us to embrace all of life. The light and the dark and the good and the bad and what we like and what we don't like, because there can't be oneness unless we do. And it calls us to fulfill our sacred purpose, and that is to be that new life form, that expression of God, that divine human walking on this earth, sharing that love with everyone we meet. Then it calls us, what else to do? Work together, come together in the collective, and work together for that better world. So it's all there for us, and it's all coming out in many different ways for us to see. So when we look at our doobie-doo opportunities for today, we have a lot of them. We had the opportunity to share our being and our doing in our song when we sang, "Look at the person next to you." What did we do? We said, God loves you, and I love you too, and that was the love of our heart. So we already did it. We already practiced being this divine human in our song that we sang today. And then we have the opportunity to do our shadow work workshop with Ginny today. And then we have the opportunity to go out in the hall to a volunteer table and write down on a sheet of sign-up paper what we would like to do to share our love for unity with our community. How we can work together is how these teams work together. You'll see it on the table. We have a lot of volunteers people. We have a lot of volunteer teams that would be waiting for you. So in the Bible, James says and tells us, Be doers of the word and not hearers only. That's the time we're living in. It's time for us to get that doing and that being together and then go forth in the world and be and do from our spirituality. Unity's basic teaching. If you know these things, do them. And Charles Fillmore told us over and over in his writings, prove the truths you know. Try them out. See if you like them. See if they fit for you and how they fit for you. And Scott Peck told us to be a new life form. So a lot of things coming together for us to do. So do we do. We could say it again. Do. We should practice because it reminds us. One more time. You say it many times as you want, actually. Doobie do. And doobie do. They're powerful, powerful words. Doobie, do, and be. And then, like our song said, we can be doobies. So these are powerful words that will guide us, I think, through these new days. If we realize that we're being called to be love in action, we're being called to be and do. And from our doing, our being grows. And as our being grows, we can do more in the world, and they flow together like that. So if we look at this, then we could be the ones that spread the message. And the message would be the doobie-doo message. I don't know how far it could go, but we could try. We could ask Greg to write some more doobie songs. We like that, right? We could get some of our poets to write doobie poems from poets. We could paint some doobie pictures, if you imagine what that would be like. We can call ourselves doobies. And I certainly think that's a much deeper thing to call ourselves than unitics. What do you think? We're doobies. And we get a little pin made that says, it has a B on it and it says do be, to identify ourselves so people would know who we are and what we're about. We could do that, and we could let these words remind us then that this is a call that's coming from the desire in our heart. There's no shoulds, no ought tos, no have tos, no musts attached to this call. We're doing it because we want to. Because within us we're hearing the call to be all we can and to do what we're led to do in this world we live in. If we're quiet, we can hear that. So what happens then? We show up as a new life form, a divine human, working on God's behalf in the world as the Spirit of God as it expresses through us. So like I said, as we look at the volunteer fair today and this opportunity to sign up, some questions we can ask ourselves. Is it a ministry or is it a job? Because we want to serve Unity of Charlotte, all of us as ministers. There's not just one minister. All of us are ministers to the world in some way. And we want that to be our service. So here's some ways that we can tell before we do it. Take a look at some things. It's called, is it a job or is it a ministry? If you're doing it because no one else will, it's a job. If you're doing it in service to Spirit, it's a ministry. If you quit because someone criticized you, it's a job. If you keep on serving, it's a ministry. If you'll do it as long as it doesn't interfere with other activities, it's a... If you're committed to staying with it even when it means letting go of other things, it's a ministry. If you quit because no one ever praised you or thanked you, it's a... Oh. If you stay even though no one notices your efforts, it's a... An average church is filled with people doing a job. But a great church like Unity of Charlotte is a great church is filled with people involved in ministry, doing it from their heart, doing it as love in action everywhere they go, and just radiating that love to everybody who's here, everyone they serve. So I want to tell you just a quick doing story that I had. And how I came to be here after all these years, I guess, was because of some coffee I made. I don't make coffee that good. Even I don't like the coffee I make. But here's what happened. I've been coming to Unity for a while, and I sat in the back, and when it was over, I got out the door for anyone who had a chance to hug me or talk to me. I just knew something was here, and I look back, and I was resisting it with everything I had. I wanted to come, but I wanted to get out of here. I did that for a while, and I came one Sunday. The minister is talking about serving in the community, and there's sign-up sheets in the lobby like today. I thought, oh, I'm going to have to really move quick to get out of here today. But I wasn't quick enough, and somebody grabbed me by the sleeve, and she said, honey, you've been coming here for a while. Isn't it about time you did something here? little guilt throwing it on me, you know. My life was in a chaos at that time, and I couldn't take on one more thing, and I said, I can't do it. I said, come over here and look at something. Could you come one Sunday a month and make coffee for everybody? How do you say no to that? I mean, put some grounds in and some water in once a month. I said, oh, okay, and I wrote my name down. So sure enough, my next Sunday, it was my time to make coffee. And somebody met me at the door, tell me where to go. That person became my best friend for life. We still go to the beach every year together, although we missed the sheaf for planning next year. The person who came up the stairs to show me where the kitchen was and the coffee pot was became a most influential person in my life. 2 people I met. So after the coffee, I had to clean up, of course. I didn't know that either. I had to dump out the grounds and dump the water out. I had to clean up. So as I'm cleaning up, I'm talking to people in the church. And here's my people. They're here. They've been here all the time. They believe as I do. They're talking about things that I want to explore. I'll be back here every Sunday, but I'm going to find out what else I can do next week. So I got involved at that level. It wasn't more than 9 months later I was leading the Sunday service. I mean, I jumped in with both feet. But if it hadn't been for that coffee and that person who grabbed me by the arm and says, honey, it's time, I'd be sitting in the back row of this church and I'd be scooting out the door. So that's just it. And I just want to say that as a way to volunteer. One place is where you meet the people. It's where you take ownership in the community. You have something special to do that brings you here. And all the love in the sanctuary is waiting for you. People are waiting at the door to tell you how much they love you. So that was the story I wanted to share with you today, just as a way of saying, just go to the tables after the service. So we just kind of focus on the doobie and kind of let that guide us on our path and guide us into this new vision, guide us into this new mission. And it's in your program today, the 9 principles that we shared at the community meeting. It's all in your program today. Take it home, see how that feels in your heart, and David and I will meet with you on the first Sunday after the service to see how that's going. But as we get ready to do this, remember the song. Remember the doobie. Do be a doobie. Don't be a doobie. No, don't be a don't be. I just messed up my whole talk there.
Of an age that is to be, when from every limitation I will know that I am free. For the age is rich in promise, and my soul has eyes to see. God's truth is marching on. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Seen the beauty of a race from sorrow free, an age of faith and justice, truth and love and liberty. And I sing of love's great triumph in this time of jubilee. God's truth is marching on. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. God's truth is marching on. We march right out to sign up for the volunteer teams. We will share our time and talent with our Unity family. The landscape team and youth group are waiting just for me. My love is shining bright. Doobie, 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 doobie. Doobie, 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 doobie. Doobie, 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 doobie. God's truth is marching on. Now there is love
that love in our heart and going forth to share that love with everyone we meet, everywhere we go, joining together in our song of protection.
The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well.
God bless. Have a wonderful week.